Welcome to the 8th plot. We're back doing a What If episode, and as from the title sequence, you saw that we are in the Maze Runner universe.
What a cool title sequence!
Wow, I definitely saw that.
We're in the Maze Runner universe, thank you guys. As you can hear, Ben, hello Ben,
Hello.
and Scott
Yo!
are with me to discuss what we would do if we were thrown into the Maze Runner universe. That's Maze Runner, Scorched Trials, and Death Cure. The whole thing. We're not going to cover... They haven't made it, actually, so we can't cover it, because we're only in film universes. There is a prequel book, but obviously it hasn't been made into a film, so we're not talking about it today. So it's just that trilogy, really. And as usual, Ben, who's being evil today, will be thrown into the glade, as I think it's called, in the beginning of the Maze Runner, to use what he knows to try and come out on top. Scott, who's good today, will be thrown into the glade as well. And he has to do whatever he can to make good and try and save some people's lives or solve the world's problems, if he can.
It's a tough challenge with all these zombies. And...
Yeah, it's tough when the whole world is gone, because the Maze Runner is based on a dystopian young adult stories by... hang on, I just had to look it up. I should have memorised this before. James Dashner. So there's that. Today... Ben, who's evil, will be represented by the obvious evil villain, Peter Baelish. No, wait.
Page.
What's he called? This case, who plays him? I can't remember. I'm trying to look it up right now.
You're in the Maze Runner.
You're right. No wonder. I'm trying to look on Wikipedia right now. Shout out to Wikipedia.
Maze Runner, Scorched Trials.
But I think he is the overall villain, and therefore we're representing Ben. As soon as I can find him. Come on. Aidan Gillen. There we go. Aidan Gillen.
You weren't even close with Peter. As
Jansen, who I think is the ultimate bad guy. We can't take the virus because I can't put a virus up here on
Can you not put up a zombie?
Well, the zombies are villains. They're victims.
They are victims.
They're misunderstood people.
They're misunderstood people who are trying to eat you. And I think that's fair with all zombies, actually. Zombies aren't really the villain.
That's true.
Of any zombie
unless you're in, what was that film? Not Hot Fuzz, the other one. Shaun of the Dead.
Well, they're not villains in that either. Well, they're just infected people.
They're antagonists.
Yes, antagonists is fine, but they're not villains. So Ben is represented by the Jansen character today.
Okay.
Scott, who's good, will be represented by the obvious good guy, the
Newt.
No,
not
Albie.
No.
If
you say Gally.
Gally. He is good.
He goes through a redemption arc.
Does he?
Yeah, in Death Cure, he's kind of the hero.
What? But
Ben has not seen the first one.
He got stabbed with a spear.
Yeah, somehow he survived.
I do not care.
His heart was not there. It was slightly to the left.
Missed it by that much.
Exactly. He got away with it.
We were watching it last night, but Ben didn't want to watch the third one, so we didn't.
Well, we watched Uncharted instead.
Which is weird, because the third one is actually one of the better ones. It's definitely better than the Scorched Trials.
It is.
We'll get to our review in a second. So you'll be played by Thomas. Thomas is the obvious good guy throughout the whole series.
Played by Dylan O'Brien.
O'Brien, who I really like. He starred in a. I have to look him up now.
Teen Wolf.
It was Teen Wolf, but Deepwater Horizon.
Wolf.
Oh, he was in Bumblebee. I forgot about that. Oh, Love and Monsters.
That was a good
excellent film, which we should possibly do one day. But
never seen it.
It's
honestly
great.
Ben, culture
he did
yourself.
really well in it.
Culture myself. You're the one who didn't like to watch Titanic.
We'll come on to this.
Cultural touchstone.
Yes.
Anyway. And I obviously have to be represented by at least someone in the series who is all sort of seeing.
The zombies.
Not the zombies.
That is a much better analogy.
Well, I've chosen...
The deserts.
I've chosen this character.
The maze. The maze.
I should be represented by the maze. Hang on. Well, as you can see, the first image I brought up was Patricia Clarkson playing someone called Ava Page, who's the head of WCKD, which is pronounced Wicked for some reason. I don't know why. I'll get to this in the review, actually. But you're saying I should be played by the maze.
Yeah.
But the maze is only in the one film. It's not in any of the others.
But it sees all.
Does it? It's a living thing, is it now?
Yeah.
Maybe a griever. Should I be a griever?
No, because they're sort of...
You should be the vines.
They're on the same... Because the grievers are on the same level as the zombies.
The sun is in every single... And the sun... Actually, in the books, the thing that causes the zombies...
The sun is a living thing?
...does come from the sun, so maybe I should... Okay, I will now be the sun. There we go. I'm the sun now.
Wow, it's so bright!
My eyes! My eyes!
Let me calm down. There we go. I've reduced myself to a red dwarf star, and therefore less blinding. Okay, I am there, the sun. Okay, let's get into the real. Well, actually, no, before we leap into this universe. By the way, I'm going to have to send you into this universe at the early possible moment, but not when Tom's rising in that, frankly, terrible elevator.
Can we also?
It's a very high elevator. They must have dug a shaft really deep underneath the maze in order just to have that moment.
It's a massive facility.
Seems pointless.
Can we also point out the fact that I don't think they've ever actually tried to cut through the grate on the bottom and go down into the shaft?
It's nothing but a massive pit at the bottom.
I think
they've got loads of vines in the maze. Just cut some down.
In the books, does explain. I think there's booby traps and things, so they can't do that. So anyway, I think they tried it before and they died or something, so they gave up on that plan.
I don't believe you. We're talking about the film universe.
Yes, the film doesn't explain why they wouldn't do that, but presumably, I don't know. The Gladers must have thought.
Though Newt does say they've tried everything.
But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you.
They've thought of. And as we know, Galley and all that lot are quite stupid.
They are phenomenally stupid. So I'm going to throw you. You're going to be as if you're the person who just got delivered before Tom. So you're there before Tom,
yes.
and you're a normal Glader. So you arrive as your age. Well, actually, you guys are too old to actually been thrown into the maze. So I'll reduce you by a couple of years.
For how much?
I'm old enough.
Is 18 the oldest? Like Scott, I'm reducing you both to the age of 18, so you can be chucked into the Glade. Okay. So you're 18 years old and you enter the Glade. So that means you're probably one of the older people there. So. But before we do that, let's talk about a review of The Maze Runner. What do we think?
I preferred this film series over Hunger Games.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why are you comparing it to Hunger Games?
Because it's basically the same thing.
It's a teen dystopian sort of movie. It's not far from the Hunger Games. It's not far from what's that other one? Divergent thing. It was a series of these books that became very popular and films based on them.
I think I spoke about it in a Hunger Games podcast. Go watch that. But I think I prefer this. Shameless plug. I preferred this over Hunger Games. I think it's just got better characters, better storyline.
See, I think I would disagree with you there, but I don't hate The Maze Runner. I think it's quite. I don't like this whole where the virus comes from, because apparently the virus comes from the sun, which I don't understand at all. But I kind of like how the author and therefore the filmmakers found a way to justify having a bunch of kids in mazes. I know it's a bit of a scientific stretch to say. Because the reason they're in the maze, spoiler alerts, from now on, don't repeat that, fellas. It's a tiresome joke. Other jokes are available.
Damn it, Mark.
Anyway, the reason they're in the maze
spoiler alert
is because they're putting them through these trials because it alters their brain chemistry, which makes their brains able to cure the virus, something like that. It's a bit of a scientific stretch, but I don't mind it.
Is it not like immunity to the virus?
But it's only if they get put through certain things. So in a way, the justification for doing these horrible things to these kids is to find a cure to cure the entire planet of a zombie-ish plague. And you have to do these, mate. You have to put them in certain situations that I guess if you're a human living on planet Earth somewhere, you would go through these situations anyway, but they need to kind of force them because they haven't got time to let people age into it, I guess, and have normal life experiences which cook their brains in a way that allows them to cure it. And I don't mind it. I don't mind that this is the justification for what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's a solid film, and
Are you talking only about the Maze Runner film itself?
As in, no, sorry, the films that I've watched, 1 and 2.
Because you're too good to watch all 3.
I am too good to watch all 3, Scott. I thought you knew this about me already. Yeah, the films that I watched I thought were decent. I did kind of feel the length of the second one, even though it wasn't that, incredibly long. Okay. I just felt like there was a lot of travelling. But I enjoyed them for the primarily bit, and I thought that the justification of most of it was okay.
I do hate the Wicked name. It works in the teenage fiction book. Of course, it's teenage fiction. It worked in the book it works for the book sort of scenario.
What does it stand for?
It's just oh my goodness! Did you have to ask? Now I have to. Now I have to try and
in the film. Ben should have been concentrating.
While I'm stalling for time.
I just felt a lot more connected to these characters than I did in Hunger Games. I was like, in Hunger Games, I didn't care what the two main characters, what their names.
World catastrophe, kill zone, department.
I don't even know that.
None of those words work really together.
So Wikizd.
Well, no, it's
Killzone is not one
it's
word.
WCKD, World Catastrophe. Okay,
Killzone
they
is
should
not
have
one
had
word.
World Catastrophe Department. Would have made sense. It's the kill zone, like
I'm not
World
sure that-
Catastrophe.
I'm not sure.
Why do we have a kill zone in there?
Well, I'm not
They
sure-
wanted to call it Wicked.
Because I can't call it WKD.
It
Because
is.
that is an alcoholic drink.
Oh, that's true. They can't have that.
Oh, no, alcoholic drinks are available. Suck
Reclaimed it. And but it's just like someone really wanted our acronym to spell shield. It's
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Someone was obviously in a meeting going, let's just call ourselves Wicked. But why? Are we wicked? No, we're actually doing a good thing. But
Allegedly.
wicked is cool. Fine.
Wicked is good.
Wicked is good. That's the catchphrase.
I guess Wiki's is good. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's
I've been in
basically
this meeting for 20 minutes.
that's basically how they got the name. Someone was just really insistent that they wanted it, and they gave up. And goes, "We were going to call it Cure the World, but no." CTW. See, yeah, it's just
I love how we both went to that.
it's a terrible acronym, but CTW. CTW is good. No, it doesn't work, does it? But it's, I don't know. In the book, it works because it's kind of like it's playing on the words a little bit. Are they wicked? Are they good? In some ways, this film is asking us: are they justified in doing what they did? If that's the only way to
It is
cure.
a moral dilemma.
It is a moral dilemma.
But yeah, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this analogy of
Sorry.
acronym and that. Sorry.
I'll
just
let you
felt-
acronym.
I felt a lot more connected to these characters, and when Newt died, it broke me.
Yeah, I hated when you died, but also because that actor's from Love Actually.
Yeah, that's
And-
the only reason I'd cry if I saw that.
Like it was, and that was sad.
And because, sorry, that was a sword dropping on the floor. Don't ask why. But yeah, and Thomas and Newt's relationship and their friendship just
they grew on
grew.
each other in a good way.
It
I
did.
think
And that when Newt died, it just it broke me. So there you go.
it was sad. I really hoped they were going to
Whereas
cure
I-
him, but I knew they weren't.
Whereas I couldn't care less if Katniss or whatever the guy's name.
Katniss and
Katniss.
Peter.
Katniss, you're in the wrong
And Peter,
place.
yeah, whatever.
Oh, we didn't really care for
I couldn't
Katniss or
care
Peter.
if they live or died now.
Yeah, that's hard. I think Katniss is a hard character to like, but that's because of the nature of the story she's going
Yeah.
through. She herself is not someone to hate, but I don't know. It's just she has to go and do things that you'd almost hope a protagonist wouldn't do. Like, but she's somewhat justified in doing them. Thomas is the sort of opposite in that he's always trying to do good in a difficult situation and fails here and there. He's got more righteous heart. Katniss has a more survival instinct. That's what makes Katniss interesting as a character. But yeah, I can see why the emotional connection might not be there.
The books got me really invested in Katniss and Peter.
No.
This isn't Hunger Games.
This isn't the Hunger Games.
Bite me. Um,
I'll cut that out.
But yeah, I agree with the fact that Thomas is kind of a more likable character but I don't know what it is about him, but especially in the first one, I did find myself siding with Gally.
Do you know what it is?
I
It's
just-
because
that was obvious throughout the whole film
Actually,
when he's
sorry.
giving me a commentary.
you explain why.
I was just like, for goodness sake, fit in. I don't care. You're not the protagonist.
Actually, that is kind of the reason why I started to hate him too. And I was thinking, Gally's kind of right here.
Yeah.
Well, not all the way, but,
No, but he's like,
it was like, could you just do more to where are the social skills of this guy? I know he forgot who he was, but I think you could figure it out. Read the room, Thomas.
It's quite funny how they've been in there for more than 3 years, but Thomas comes along and in 3 days they escape.
Yeah, that would be suspicious. Which
Gally
it is.
was right.
Gally was right. Do you know, I don't mind Gally. Gally
Gally deserves to be that hero on the screen.
No.
As soon as he was introduced, I thought, he's that kind of character who doubts everything the protagonist says and is clearly like the bad guy, and it's obvious from the very beginning. I wish
He has
that
very angular eyebrows in this film.
that's just the actor.
No, Will Poulter's face just gets more and more angular as he grows up.
But I like Will Poulter. He does very
So
well.
I think he's great.
And he actually plays Gally. I just wish that maybe they should have done this, where Gally was... Everyone would have gone, Gally's the one who's going to upset everything.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one who accidentally kills someone. I know that. And we're all going to hate him. But I wish they had changed it and made someone else. They reversed that. They could have reversed it. But Alec Galley does go through a redemption arc.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
Allegedly, I haven't seen it.
I've watched the film. I can tell you that it's true, and the book does it too. So quiet. At least I think it does. I haven't checked. But anyway,
You haven't checked your sources, Mark.
do you know who I do wish hadn't died? Still, like
Chuck.
No, not well. I don't actually care about Chuck.
No.
Chuck's one of those. No offense to these
He's
kind of
that
characters.
weird fat kid that follows the protagonist around, like, "Oh, you're so cool."
It's kind of. I think it's bad that they always make them. Well, they're trying to imply that they're always fat and chubby, those kind of kids, and then they kill them off straight away. Why don't they keep these characters around? Why do they always make them the character?
There'll be great food later.
Ben, how is he so? Like, how are any of them actually so? They should all be wasting away. Like they haven't.
They should. I mean, like it's like in the Hunger Games, actually.
How is Katniss so healthy and
yeah,
vibrant?
I saw.
How does she look like Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah. I saw a pitch meeting by Ryan George. Go watch that video. And he's like, in the book they're described as incredibly skinny kids who have no food. So we okay with hiring Hollywood actors and not putting them
And
on
a
any kind of diet.
And in some ways, like in the Glade, they've got like pigs. There's like a subset of butchers who do things like for living. Where are they getting these animals from? And are they just being shoved up the elevator every so often? And
no, because they would send supplies with the child when they were sent up.
Yeah, but
so
like we
child's
never
in the elevator with a cow and a pig and a chicken.
Oink!
Oink.
yeah, we do never see any livestock in any of the elevators.
No.
Any of the lifts.
They didn't have a really sufficient breeding program.
You're right about Chuck, but he's kind of like the character that they just keep shoving in these things that you know who's going to die to have an emotional gut punch, like in some way. Well, that comes later, Newt, but it's like Newt is a long term sort of they cook that for a long time before they give you that emotional gut punch.
Albie.
But the thing is, Albie should have survived. I wanted Albie to come through and survive and keep going because I liked him because he had this sort of.
Mina does survive. They rescue him.
They do. He does.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was my favourite.
Because who is it? I was just talking about him. And
Albie.
He has this thing where there's a sort of mysticism almost about him because he's the first person to be in the Glade and he survived that long. And it's kind of like cutting us out when they kill him at the end of the first one. It's like they cut us out of a whole load of experience and interesting character development, and that's why I wish they hadn't. They should have killed one of the other people.
Wasn't Newt the second person? Because he takes over for Albie, as they say in the first one.
He does seem very
but
much
Albie was
second in
alone
command.
for like a month. Imagine that in the Glade every night.
Yeah, no.
It closes and these these griever things are walking around.
Imagine if he got lost.
Yeah, and first thing he would have done, Albie, within those first few days, right? I'm going to try and get out, and he could have got lost out there, and there's just an interesting story, and they kind of cut it out by killing him at the end, and only hinting at it throughout the film.
What I really dislike about Chuck as well is they gave him this thing as well, that little wooden thing. It's like, you give this to my parents, and I was like, oh, fine. No, I have to feel connected to this character.
And then he never found the parents, did he?
No.
Did he?
Oh, he couldn't have. There's no parents in it at all.
Haha, sucker!
But why?
Did Chuck dive in front of the bullet?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Good for him.
You know that meme of the guy with his hands on his hips, like.
Oh yeah, looking
like,
frustrated.
Insert Chuck's head onto that, and it's like, why didn't you find my parents? And it's like...
Or that kind of character gets shot again or killed again for the emotional development of the main hero. Because there's too many characters like that. Yeah. I'm trying to think it's like it's Rue, I guess, in the Hunger Games. She's this little girl that we get to know, and then they kill her just to give you the emotional gut punch, and it's sort of, and they just do it so it's too. This is
foreshadowing.
In terms of reviewing it overall, if you think I mentioned Divergent, and you guys mentioned Hunger Games, and then there's Maze Runner, and there's other young adult sort of dystopian films out there as well. Others are available, but I would say Divergent is terrible. I'm sorry.
Which version?
Divergent, the film versions.
Okay.
The books I haven't read,
seen it.
but I think they would be better anyway because they'd have time to explain it. But then it's hard. I don't know what. I think I enjoy this trilogy more than I enjoy the Hunger Games, even though I would disagree with you. Well, technically, but I would, even though Scott. I think there's more interesting about the Hunger Games, but I like this film trilogy more. I think.
So when I said at the beginning, I like him more than You're wrong, Scott. You don't. But then you just said, yes, I do actually.
No. What I disagree. You prefer this film over The Hunger Games.
Yes.
Oh no, I do agree with you. Yes, because I do.
What are you all about, man?
Sorry, I'm very tired, and I've lost my train of thought.
Mark's
Okay,
lost
it
the
goes-
plot. Mark's lost the plot.
It goes. It goes.
Oh, now you've
Divergent.
only got 7 plots.
For me, it goes Divergent, Hunger Games, Death Cure. If you ask me the Maze Runner, if you ask me which trilogy do you want to see more?
What I do really enjoy about this film as well is the balance Thomas and you have with each other. Because I'm sceptical of everything. It might be true, but it might not be. It might just that the common sense guy is nuked.
Yeah.
As when they're in that facility, it's like, oh no, we don't trust these guys. Maybe we should. Oh no, we definitely shouldn't because you investigated and now you proved me wrong. I like that.
Do you know what they should have done at the end of the Death Cure? Rather than Newt just dying, he should have turned into a zombie and he chased them through a significant scene.
Yes.
And then they had to kill him. But they didn't do that.
God, that would have been brutal. They would have
It
kept
would have
him,
been brutal, but it would have been a very bold directorial move and storytelling.
or they kept him like a pet, like they did in Shaun of the Dead.
Just on a chain on that beach.
Yeah.
Hello,
Stop it,
Newt.
Stop pulling.
We're going walkies.
Why don't they just cure him? Sorry, I'm still not over the death of you in that story.
Oh, never mind.
So guys, what do you think over? Well, I know how you feel, Scott. Ben, what do you feel about? You didn't even finish it, so did you?
What?
You didn't even finish the trilogy. So what do you think of the Maze Runner overall?
I think we've covered this. I think your brain is fried.
I think my brain is fried. What do you think of the Maze Runner overall, Ben?
What have we been speaking about for the last 21 minutes?
I thought it was good.
Either way, out of the teen dystopian film trilogies, it's one of the best.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
Of the two.
3. So I 3 that I've named.
He's
Out of
very
three
tired.
I need to. I've been
It's
racking my
right.
brain this whole time trying to think of another one, but I can't. Which even means it doesn't exist, or I have such a rich social life, I haven't had time to go watch it yet.
We know that's not true.
Turns out I'm just stupid and I can't think of it.
Well, Mark has kind of done a teen dystopian on a spaceship in Stolen Futures #1.
Yeah,
Go check that out.
That was when I wrote that. That was my attempt to sort of correct and do better than in some of the teen dystopias. So,
And I think we can agree he did.
well, I
so
hope
go
so.
read it.
Give it a go, and you tell me if I did better than, say, The Hunger Games and The Maze Runner and Divergent and... Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
Scott's nodding and shaking his head in equal measure.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm your
know.
biggest fan, so I'm in the
The
book.
only.
That's true.
You're in the book?
He gets acknowledgement in the
I
book.
do.
Oh, I thought he was a
You
character.
can have an acknowledgement then in the next one. No, he's not. If I
If
did, I
he
would
was
have killed him off very quickly.
If you need to catch a kill off, I'm available.
He'd
I
be
should call an alien, Scott.
he'd be
Yes.
he'd be that kid that died.
Let's stop disparate. Let's not. We're not fat shaming anyone, by the way. But it's a what's it called?
It's a trope.
It's a trope, correct? A cliche almost.
Yes.
And they've got to stop doing it.
Okay.
Get a really skinny kid in the future films. In fact, rotate through
Go
them.
with Scott.
Skinny,
I'm available for that.
large,
So
short,
lanky.
very tall,
Bag of
massive
bones.
head.
What are you trying to say about me?
No, I'm just saying that these are the characters they should, rather than
Yeah.
the Chuck character, the person who dies for the emotional gut punch, they shouldn't just have it the same trope. Is my point.
Okay. Good idea. I think we
The
should.
Neville
move on to our
Longbottom,
plans.
for example.
Yes.
Anyway, right. So
What,
now
because that starts off fat, but then gets skinnier and skinnier throughout the series.
but that would have made sense in the Maze Runner, but they don't. They stay healthy and fit and ridiculously Adonis-like. What were they eating? I hope they weren't eating the
Grass.
zombies. Grass.
They graze.
They were growing. They were growing fruit in like a grape vine area. So
A grapevine area.
They were
I remember
growing.
that on geography. Do you just go...
They've only got that. They've
They
got their
were
own wine
growing
company.
food.
Oh, they were growing food. Where'd they get the fruit from to originally grow it?
There's the supply crate that comes up with the children.
Oh, that's...
My goodness, Mark.
Sorry. One of the things I do have to say, I never really liked the fact that they... Apart from the Glade, solid name, I like that, but I don't like the fact they rename almost every other function in human society.
Yeah, the
They-
maze.
Well, no, that's fine, because it is a maze. But no, but they're giving different names to all these different, like, it's like some I think it's the film Clueless where they show them around the cafeteria and he goes, that's that group, that clique, that thing. And for some reason there's the same sort of groups in the Glade and they just give them different names, like just call them, that's the Butchers. But they don't call them Butchers, they call them something else. And those are the maze runners. And he goes, and make like, I don't know.
Because they're kids and they're trying to be cool.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing. It's not cool. They should know this as
They
kids.
think it is.
Kids are the cutting edge of cool. And they're going, we're going to rename a basic human function in
Mark,
society.
you're 43, you don't get an opinion about this.
I'm not 43. I'm below 40.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
You're almost 43.
Okay. I'm not going to give away my age. I'm below 40. But
39.
Shh, be quiet. Don't give away my age.
And how old are you, Scott?
Almost 20.
Barely knows anything about the world. Your brain hasn't even fully developed yet.
That's true.
That's a scary thought.
It doesn't until you're 25.
Wow.
This is the tangent.
Tangent control.
Thank you, Scott.
Always for the wise to use that one.
Yeah, we haven't had to use it for ages.
Along with fear. We've not used that one either.
Let's try and work these things naturally in the future. But anyway.
Says the guy who goes, oh yeah, other things are available at any given time.
But we just do that to annoy you.
Yeah, I know.
I do it to annoy you and because it's a great joke and you always miss it.
At the very beginning of the podcast, we said we won't overuse it, and it's been overused every single podcast. At the beginning, it was
But
only
it's a
mine.
catchphrase. You never use it.
I do use it. I just come up with brilliant things, and you steal them.
You're going to be quick, Scott.
At the beginning, I came up with very specific jokes which were making me funny, but now it's just been overworked.
Maybe
heavily.
you need a new catchphrase.
No, it's my catchphrase.
I think you do.
Tangent control is yours. And
Fine.
fear is yours.
Fine. No, fear's Ben's.
Fear's mine.
Oh, is it yours?
Yeah.
Oh, hey buddy's mine.
Yeah, hey,
You've
buddy.
got 2 catchphrases
Three, that's
already.
true.
So
I'm
me and
the-
Ben need to up our game
I'm
and
the
develop some
greatest
new
man.
ones.
Tangent control.
Okay, back
There
to...
was
Always
no
been-
tangent.
It's
It
time
was
to
a
throw
tangent
you
about
into the universe now. So, do we always start with the bad guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's you, Ben. So, Ben, you've just... The lift has delivered you into the Glade. You got there before Thomas. What do you do to take advantage
Well,
of
you
your
get a
situation?
month before Thomas.
Oh, yeah, a month. So you got a month before the main character arrives. And the plot moves forward. What do you do? What do you do?
So I wasn't aware of when you were going to throw me in. I assumed it was going to be like roughly near Thomas. So I'm going
The
to.
same thing, you and Thomas are in there together.
Hey,
Shall I do
buddy.
that for you? Do you want me to do that? I'll
Hey,
do
buddy.
You just
that.
you
Hey,
wake
buddy,
up.
we're in a lift. Oh, hang on. I have to make this point.
What floor are you getting off at?
You will remember every... Push all the buttons on the elevator and get out. But we'll break wind at the last moment. We'll get out now.
It's a Family Guy joke.
Yes. I will give you the choice, Ben. You can be a month before, or you can be in the lift with Thomas, and you both arrive at the
What, you
same
wake up
time.
spooning?
But no one pays any attention to you. They pay attention to Thomas. Okay, and then off you go. Which one do you want, Megan?
I think I will get.
Oh, and
up-
you keep your memory. Unlike everyone else, you can have your memory.
Okay, good. Because I can.
Otherwise, the whole plot is
remember.
undone, and you're just a normal
This
guy.
podcast is entirely useless if that happens.
Exactly.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up with Thomas.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
be in his lift, and everybody's gonna be paying attention to him.
Get out, Greedy. Who's this Greedy? That's how it'll go.
Who's this Bluey?
Who's this?
Not like that works.
Poor circulation. That's why he's blue.
He's not breathing.
He's dead. Anyway, so you've arisen in the Glade.
Yes. So Thomas is gonna run off and
Do his thing.
yeah, and he gets thrown to prison straight away, doesn't he?
No, he just
Because he runs off.
no, he just
and then he tumbles.
yeah, he does a run, but he doesn't
gets-
run into the thing. He doesn't
No.
get put in prison. They
He
just...
gets put in the pit until he recovers. I think.
Does he?
Yes.
Is that what happens?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking at the.
I watched it yesterday. I should know this.
Not very obviously very.
Huh?
Not very well, obviously.
No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't get put in prison until he tries to leave, and they punish him for it.
No.
No, he
No,
does
definitely.
get. He does
Okay,
get
so
put in the
he's in
cage.
the pit. What
To
are
calm
you doing?
down.
Don't sass
You're
me.
calm straight away, so you're out and like, no, this is normal.
Oh, nice green. Oh, high walls,
Nice
good
maze.
protection.
What do you think the Gladers are going to respond to you being absolutely nonchalant about the whole process? Yeah, this is maybe you could lie and say, yeah, I've been here before.
I was the first Glader. I know everything.
No, you
You're all
can't say
gonna
that.
follow me.
You can't say that.
It's a
You-
lie.
Yeah, but you're also giving away information that I don't think. Like, remember our rule? You can't just like
I'm
reveal.
not.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to come out and say, "I'm the first Glader. Follow me." None of them are going to follow you because that Albie's their leader, and Newt and Gally presumably.
I was gonna say I'm gonna create a mutiny and like
It's not
take Albie hostage, but I wasn't gonna do.
I really don't think that would work
No.
anyway.
You'd be killed instantly.
You need to have something that they're gonna let you can offer them in some ways.
See, I mulled over this last night, and I have no idea what I can offer them except for my raw physical strength. Don't shake your head at us, Scott. But so I'm really gonna wait till Thomas ends up going into the maze,
Okay.
because he runs in there when Mino and is bringing Albie back, right?
Yes, and saves him. Are you gonna leap ahead of him and be the first?
So I'm gonna run in like when they're all waiting before the walls start.
Before there's
closing.
even hint of Albie and that coming around the corner.
Because they're right there, so
Yeah.
I can just be like, whoa, there they are, and I'm gonna.
Or you run before they come around the corner, so you're already halfway
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run before they come around the corner.
What are you doing? Get back here, Greedy!
And then I'm gonna help bring Albie back.
And
because,
you're going to
like-
get them back out of the maze before it closes.
Yeah, because Mino's really tired and he like does drop him. So like I'm gonna like.
Doesn't Miho get out of the glade? And it's...
Not
Mino,
Miho.
sorry.
Miho.
Miho, it says here. Minho.
Mino.
You sure?
They
Yes.
call him Mino.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen it. But so
You don't
does he
call-
get out of the maze and it's just Albie and that?
No,
or all
so
three of them stuck outside the
Thomas runs out and gets when the walls are closing and.
glade? And all
and
three
they
of them
all
are
get
trapped.
stuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But in your case, you're going to get them all both of them back to the glade before
Yeah.
it happens. Okay.
And so I'm going to be hailed as like a kind of hero, but not really, because they're going to be like, oh, you broke the rules.
You idiot.
Spend a night in the pit.
Okay.
And I'm going to like,
Fine. But you've made some friends now.
yeah, so now I'm good friends with Mino, and Albie is now sick because he got stung.
Yes.
And then I'm going to wait for the...
Where was that Griever? How did they deal with that Griever? Like, he got stung by a Griever. Did it just walk away after that? And then...
Presumably it must have stung him, then walked away. Mino must have found him, and then...
Oh, I suppose that would work. Yes, that would work. Yeah.
Because like, they don't all run off together, I don't think.
No. Okay.
So then when the girl comes in, she's gonna have those like vials, and I'm gonna be like,
I think I know what to do with this.
wicked is good.
Oh, so you cure out
So I'm gonna cure Albie
straight away.
like straight away before it even starts like hallucinating or anything.
Yeah.
And so at this point I'm gonna be like making friends with everyone because
All your good deeds.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run out into the glade with a machete.
Okay.
And I'm going to take on a Griever.
Okay.
By yourself.
Yeah.
You
And you think
with,
you can take a Griever?
with all due respect, they have soft, fleshy bits, and spikes.
And robotic arms with metal.
And they're very quick.
Yeah, but like I would back myself against a
I
Griever.
wouldn't.
You would.
I don't think it would.
Let's assume that you can, although I think you can't.
That's a bold assumption.
I can just do
Well,
what.
it's possible. One of the things you
Well,
could
like-
do is wait above them and just
Yeah, so
fall
like-
down on top of them and stab them in the head. And
Yes,
that's it.
and I was going to
He
say
was stabbed
that,
through
you
the
know.
head and he was still alive with a spear
There
at the
you
very end of the film.
Yeah, but like
Huh?
it's with a machete. I'm gonna.
A really big slit and cut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I'll do what Thomas kind of does. So like
You
you
get
know
that little beeping thing from it.
yeah, I'm gonna get that from it, but to kill it, I'm gonna climb up some vines and then wait for them to come around the corner.
Would you not already
Drop
have one?
Like a drop bear.
No, he wouldn't already have one
the night?
because
Oh no, because
in the
got dropped out,
film
didn't
it gets squashed by Tom in that doorway.
Mm.
So by stopping Tom from doing anything to save Mino and Albie, maybe you should just let that happen.
No, because then I can be like, I killed a Griever. I found this beeping thing,
Okay.
and
Now Gally is gunning for you now, not Thomas, because he's like,
Yeah.
you're the one disturbing this
yeah,
glade.
and I'm not gonna fire back at him like Thomas does, and it's like
Okay.
you've done nothing for 3 years.
You're just
or
gonna
something.
stab Gally in the middle of the night. Go to sleep. You can't do that because you can.
I could do that.
It's up to you.
Could do that.
Does it benefit you though?
Not really.
Because everyone will go, Galley's dead and he's been slashed by a machete. The very thing that you used to kill the Groover.
We've all got machetes.
It depends what he uses, what he does after this, because Galley comes back and saves him, doesn't he? So
Yeah, so you can't really. I don't know if you can get rid of Galley because he's important.
depends what he does next.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you're getting it in with people. Galley's got his eye on you now.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna fire back at him like Thomas does. I'm gonna be like, Galley, look, I respect you and you've been keeping this place safe for now. But now with all this weird stuff happening, we should start evaluating our options, and I would like your help with that. And he's gonna be like, okay, I respect you for coming to me, but you are on your own.
Okay.
Because like he doesn't want any part of it. He wants to
that's
keep
true.
his friends safe. So like if he just lets me go off on my own, then it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
That is my reasoning.
So now what?
So now I'm going to take the robotic eye
Yeah.
to number 7, and
Was it 8?
no, it was
7.
7,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go down that pathway.
On your own?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just going to leave everyone behind us? Sneak out, go all that, and you just leave on your
Actually,
own?
no, I'm gonna bring everyone with me. I'm gonna do what Thomas does at the end with the.
Yeah, and take everyone out.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I'll allow you to have taken that leadership role.
Yeah.
But then Albie's still alive, so he's got that leadership role. You cured him. And he knows
Does-
everything. He's remembered everything as well.
Yeah, and so like he can come.
But won't they all think, well, I was thinking that Thomas was the guy who was the inside man, but now this fella seems to know everything. Maybe he's the inside man.
Yeah.
But you're fine with that?
Yeah.
And you're still going to lead them out?
Yeah.
Do you think they'd follow him?
No.
No.
Well, but with Albie's support, as I saved his life.
You don't need Albie's support, you need Newt's support. Newt is the only one holding this whole thing together.
No, because
Yeah,
when
but
Albie's
Albie-
cured,
Albie's-
he's back together.
Back to the leader.
Yes, but Thomas only really escapes because Newt was there, but I don't think it works.
Why do they just like leg it anyway? Or like, do they just something happens and like Galley convinces some of them to stay in the glade, then this big group run
It's because
off.
all the doors don't shut at night, so all the grievers come in.
Oh right, that's it. So before that happens, they all run off, and I suppose he could convince them to go. Well, look, they're going to stay open again. Let's try this only way out, and off they go.
Mm.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go
See-
off to the
Control room
and
where
we're
they've
gonna-
all the scientists are playing dead.
Are they playing?
Yeah, they
Yes.
all. Which, by the way, is one of the silliest scenes in the whole film. Is like
Mm.
it's like isn't one of them going to be breathing when the kid goes, "This dead guy just breathed." This woman shot herself in the head, but I don't quite understand where the exit wound is. Why is this makeup? And she's like there going, "Stay, keep
Well, I
pretending
do-
you're dead."
When I do this, she laughs.
Or like, ow!
Can we kick these
Nothing.
guys? Look, if I kick him, he's groaning. He's definitely alive. That would do you actually? Would you do that once you lead them all into that control room? And they're going, "They're all dead. Who killed them all?" And then you go, "Actually, they're still alive.
Let's inspect the body.
It's definitely alive." Are you going to out the scientist there and then and there?
No,
No, you're going to keep it a charade. Then you know it's a charade, but you're going to keep it going.
I'm gonna do. When is it that the Teresa goes and talks to the scientist?
That's not until the second one, I think,
Yeah, but like
where
when
it's
is
revealed that she's been working for it the whole
yeah,
time.
Yeah, but when is it that she like
like near the
makes
end of the- it's
contact
near the-
with them?
It's near the end of Scorch Trials.
I know it's near the end of it, but like when does she actually make contact with them
I don't think we've
so
seen
that they?
I don't know. I can't give you a time or date.
Okay.
Or place.
So like, I might just inspect the head scientist's body and be like, I'll be in contact.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna. Okay, that's fine. That's good.
And
I know you're not dead. I'm with you. I know where the cure is.
Hail Hydra.
No, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Psst, hey,
Hey,
buddy.
buddy.
Psst, hey, scientist lady. I can help. Talk. Call me.
Here are my digits.
And then you're going to leave with the others on the Scorch Trials.
Yeah, and just leave.
You go through the Scorch Trials motions. What are you going to
Yeah,
do?
so I'm gonna go through the Scorch trial motion. Because like
Make sure you stay with Thomas's crew when they leave and cross the Scorch.
I don't need to actually go into the room with all the bodies, the dead.
Oh, yeah.
Not the dead. The people that are being drained. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
actually
yeah,
need to
yeah.
go in there because I've seen the film.
Yes, you know that's already going on.
So I can just be like, go down the vents one night.
Isn't Mino in one of those rooms, like being tortured or something?
No, that's
No.
in Death Cure.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna head
Where
down
he's
there,
captured.
and then I'm just gonna burst out of the vent into my room and be like, they've got
They've got all these people. Yeah,
strung
yeah.
up, and because like that's
And that'll convince them to leave with
Yeah.
you across the
and
scorch.
then we just leg it and we escape and
But now, because you haven't seen Death Cure, you have no idea where this goes.
no. So now I'm gonna contact the wicked people and
With a phone, you don't have a phone or anything.
well, if Teresa can contact them, then I'm gonna contact them.
That's
like
a very
that.
different situation.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No, it
It
isn't.
is.
How is she contacting them anyway?
Not
They're all through the
exactly.
desert.
Exactly. So like,
Satellite phone,
Yeah, I suppose. That's the only way she could possibly be doing it if she was contacted.
email,
Email. She has a PC that she's bringing along
Yeah.
with her.
text
A
message,
laptop.
new phone. Who dis?
Why didn't you just like walk up to someone inside? You could walk up to Jansen and go, "Hey, buddy, I know where the cure is," and he'll go, "You do? Yeah, it's in that
Tom."
kid's brain." Like seriously, take his blood, and you'll be surprised that cures the virus, no problems. And then
all right,
everyone's cured, and the world is better. And you can
Okay.
go, "Can I go live in that city in Death Cure?"
I'll do that.
And you're fine. You live
Yeah.
in the city now for the rest of your life, being a corporate shield
Yes.
for the capitalist
God, capitalism.
in the city.
What a shamble.
Indeed.
I like it.
Would you get? I suppose that's your only route out to somewhere half decent. But once everyone's cured, would you get any credit for that?
Not. I don't think I would, but in this world, being able to live in like
A non
paradise is
Oh, so you just go to
better.
that beach?
yeah. It is better.
Bye, guys. I'm off to that beach.
Living there is better than being out there with like nothing.
So what your whole thing then is about rising to the top of the group,
Really, just surviving.
and then, but also revealing the cure as early as possible where it comes from,
Yeah.
so things can get sorted out. Because one of the things that happens in Death Cure is that a bunch of infected break into that city and basically infect the entire city, and then all that society breaks down, and they just have to go leave and go to this beach where they all live peacefully forevermore. But you, by giving you the cure earlier, might mean that doesn't happen, and the city survives, and people are cured, and the society returns to some sort of normality.
Mm.
I suppose that's better than living in a zombie-infested world.
Mm.
I think,
Or is it?
or is it?
And then just for
Dun,
the
dun,
spice
dun.
of it, I'm gonna kill Newt.
No, you can't.
Just to
kill
prove
Newt.
that I'm evil.
That would just to prove it. In case anyone was wondering, I'm evil. Stab, stab, stab.
And they all live happily ever after. Stab!
Okay, so your idea is just to bring about the cure as soon as possible, and rise to the top, and hopefully get a good corporate gig in the city.
Yeah.
By being the one who told Jansen where the cure is. But you can't trust Jansen, because he'll probably go, "I know where the cure is, bosses.
See,
It's
you-
in that guy." So maybe you should kill Jansen, and then you tell the
Or
bosses.
I could go into the room where there's the
People strung up with the
because he has a meeting in there with Ava, and I can just barge into the meeting and be like, "I know where the cure is."
That's against the rules. You can't go around telling people that.
Oh,
But we've
yeah.
allowed it. Okay then. Psst, hey buddy.
No, that's
No.
no. Oh, hang
No.
on. No. Telling people where the cure is quite hard. Yeah, you're right. That breaks the rules. So, in some ways, you have to kind of lead them to Thomas a bit earlier,
Okay. I'm going to trip him
and that
over.
means you can't take credit.
You know what? I'm going. So there's a bit where
You could just take Thomas's blood, walk it to them, and go, "Here, try that." You haven't told them. Is that a way around it?
Okay, I'm gonna
Knock him out and send him to medbay.
There's a bit where when they're escaping, where Thomas stands down like them with a gun, and
Yeah.
and like the doors are about to open. So I'm gonna open those doors, and then it's the bit where he runs really fast and then slides under the bottom.
Yes, I
I'm
remember
just
that
gonna
bit.
block the bottom.
So Thomas gets stuck in the base. Oh, and yeah, they would find the cure earlier because they'd
Yeah.
have him.
I'll give you that one.
That'll work.
I'll allow it.
That will work. But then you're on the other side of the door with everyone else going, "Why did you stop Thomas from coming for the door?"
It's better for us all.
He wouldn't have made it. His legs would have got crushed by the door. I had to help him. Now let's run. Yeah, okay. That works. You don't get any credit for it, though. But you do get a cured world.
Yes, but also no respect for your friends for blocking your best friend.
No, and you haven't really risen to the top all that
Listen, you gotta get over it, okay?
There must be another way for you to rise to the top somehow. I can't think of it though. Scott, over to you. You're good. How are you going to improve things with all your
Improve
knowledge?
things.
Are you going to arrive in the Glade a month before Tom, or at the same time?
A month.
Okay.
I want time to prepare.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what I'm preparing for.
I don't know.
But
Whoa.
yeah, I make friends with Newt, obviously.
So you spend a month going through the motions of a glader, being picked on, proving yourself, stuff like that.
And in a fight that I'll more than likely lose, I go, oh, my name is Scott. And that's that.
You can just do that from the beginning. Hi guys, I'm Scott. You know everybody's name straight away. Is that odd?
Yeah, so then I'll make friends, I'll go do a few things.
Yeah.
But then we see, I'm trying to save lives there.
Yeah.
We see that guy become infected.
Albie.
No, there was a guy before that.
Oh
who
yeah, there
in the
was.
woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Ben.
It was Ben.
It was.
Not this Ben, another Ben.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So
he got infected in the maze, so how did you get out in the maze to stop him from
he
being
doesn't get
infected?
infected on the maze.
Of course he does.
No, he doesn't.
Where
He
does he
gets,
He gets infected in the woods.
in broad daylight, and he's a maze runner, so he would get infected in the maze. It
So a
was just-
griever came out of
a
nowhere
griever
and got
was-
him in the maze, and he
Yeah.
ran out of the maze
Yeah.
and somehow met Tom at the exact right location in that forest. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
How are you going to stop him from getting infected though?
I'll trip him over.
Before he leaves the
Yeah.
glade?
And he goes, oh, I've got a sore knee. Oh, you can't go. Or I go.
Okay,
That's
no,
not a trip. That's a swipe. You just
Okay, I do understand. Okay, you do have to hurt him, but if it stops him going out into the glade, then he doesn't get infected.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Or do I have a sprained ankle
does
and
he
be dead?
die? That guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you saved one life. Well done.
And we've also got one more runner.
Oh yeah, because he's okay. So there's another runner. Not just
no, he
another.
isn't
Yes,
because
he
he's got a sprained ankle.
Oh, but yeah, he's
He'll
still
be okay eventually.
Yeah, he's you can't take him with you when you leave. Oh no, there's enough time for a sprained ankle to heal.
A month.
Well, it doesn't have to be a bad sprain, does it? Just
No, because it's not going
Oh,
to be
yeah,
a month.
no,
it's going to be when
true.
Thomas says it. Okay, so just like I don't know, give him. I don't know. I can't. Just
a
you
twisted
just have
ankle.
to a little twisted ankle.
Why am I tied up in my hammock?
You could just do that. He wakes up one morning, he's tired out, he's having goes. But you've saved his life,
Yeah.
so it's
Scott.
Who did this? I didn't do it.
Yes, you could get a reputation as a pranker, and then you could just do that. It's like,
You spend the month being a prank.
Oh, it's
but
so
everyone will
Scott.
hate you. He can't just do it once. Just do it in the morning, so he can't get out of
Yeah.
bed. He can't go run.
But in this month, I start breaking down Galley.
Breaking him down.
Yeah, just go. Oh, yeah, it's been here so long. I mean, if we had the chance, we should just go.
So you're psycho. Oh, I see. You're prepping him to leave. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do
oh,
it.
I thought it was like, Gally, you suck.
Oh, yeah, I thought breaking him down was like
He's
you're
just like-
terrible. You should, and yeah, until
You are
Galley's
literally
just
the
a
worst.
mess by the time Tom arrives. Okay, I like your thinking that you prep him for like the
Yeah.
idea of going.
Yeah, but then
But if you're doing that after you've done that to Ben, then
I didn't take
No,
this
no, no.
chronological
You
order.
spend the whole
you
month.
need to do this in chronological
No, in the
order.
month that you arrive before Thomas arrives,
You're
you,
going
you
to break
Galley.
down Gally.
When after Thomas arrives, that's when you tie up Ben in his
Yeah.
cot so he can't get out for the day's running. And okay, so that's where we are.
Yeah.
Tom gets out of the thing. What are you going to do? You're going to go
Yeah.
say anything to him?
I'm really sorry, but I just need to. Us referring to them as runners makes me think that he's just going for a jog. It's like, I need my exercise.
the maze runners. So,
Yeah.
what next?
But so then I think Albie has to do the whole thing of not dying, but going into the maze by
You
himself.
could stab him quicker and help him out because he doesn't. He only dies when the griever gets him at night.
No. What I'm saying is, I think we.
You need to stop that from happening.
No. We need to allow that to happen.
You need to allow all those gliders to die in that first griever attack.
No. Just we need to allow what Ben was speaking about when Mino and Albie were in the maze. And,
Oh, okay. You're going to allow that bit to happen.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're going to cure him with the vials
a lot
earlier,
sooner.
a lot sooner. Gotcha.
But then, then because they've obviously that's happened, they've been crushed. I don't need to go and
Oh yeah.
hypothetically go and kill a griever,
Yeah.
which I'm sure wouldn't work out in the first place.
He doubts your ability to kill a griever. with a
I would
machete.
definitely kill a griever.
No, you put not a chance.
It's a
I wouldn't. Give
it's
you,
a
I wouldn't-
weird
I wouldn't-
slug
I
thing
wouldn't
with
bet-
arms.
I wouldn't bet
Very
£20
big.
Yeah.
that you'll survive. But then we
We'll
have
have to
this.
figure this out. We'll build a griever and then you'll have to face it.
Okay.
So, okay, so you got the way out, the
Yeah.
little beeping thing.
And we go. But then we need to convince everyone that this is really a way out a lot sooner.
Yes, before the big griever attack.
Yeah. Don't know how to do that.
You could just set fire to the glade.
That's true. Just start a wildfire.
You just go, we have to go, we have to go. Who started that wildfire? And you'd have to put this torch behind your back. Not me.
Why is there smoke behind your head?
I'm on fire, I'm on fire.
Why are you singed?
Why are trousers on fire? Nothing.
Yeah, how could you get
Did you start the fire? No.
No. How do you get them to leave the glade? How do you get them to leave earlier?
With one of those sticks that has the thing, like, come on, out you get, it's for your own good.
What, you're going to corral the gladers out? Well, to be honest, Albie could be able to convince them anyway, because if you cured him a bit early, he now knows now knows everything he should know. And obviously the other vial would work on Thomas, which he does do, doesn't he? Doesn't he inject himself with it to learn? So presumably you can get them all to go, so we're here because of those guys. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be here. Let's leave. So maybe you could, once Albie knows the truth, because he's got his memories back, thanks to the vial.
And we're leaving with 100+ people. So
it's not 100+ people.
I don't know how
There's
many
not
there
100
are.
months in the 3 years.
They were there for 3 years, so there's at least 100 people there.
Hang on, let's work this out. 48.
It's one per month.
That's true. So it's at least
48. That's wrong. 36. There should be 36 or so.
Google it.
There's 30.
I don't think it
people
has the
maximum
name
because
there.
people die.
I was first.
There's 30 people maximum. There's not 100
Newt had
people.
been. Newt had been. No, not Mino. Gally had been there 3 years. You don't know how long Albie's been there.
Albie was there for quite a while. It must be some years,
At
because
least
otherwise
5
he
years.
arrived there when he was like 15 or something, and he's 18 or something by the time.
It's definitely no more than 3 years though.
So let's say
No,
36.
Gally got there in 3 years. So
Yeah, but they're all teenagers.
Okay, guys, the number of people who are leading out doesn't matter. Let's just say 40. We'll round it up to 40.
Fine, 40, I guess, if we're being pedantic.
So you lead 40 people
100
out,
plus people.
and they get out because the Grievers attack them as they're leaving. So you're going to help.
Not if we escape quickly.
Okay, so you're hoping that you'll get at least
And with more people.
out. At least Gally probably
More
won't be keeping back.
Cannon fodder.
Yep.
More people for the greater good.
Okay, so you all get to
The
the control.
greater good.
So you all get to the control room. The dead scientist pretending on the floor.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's a good question.
Are you going to out them?
You're going to accidentally trip over her.
No, but I think we need to. I think.
Step on her face and keep walking back on it.
What am I going to do? Ow! What am I going to. Ow! What am I going to.
What's making that noise?
I don't
Stop
know.
pacing over my dead body!
But I think we
Just
need
to rub it in.
And then he steps on her and it's just like,
I think we need to realise that get Thomas to willingly go somehow. Because he doesn't have to die, does he? You just need to donate your blood every now and then.
What?
And I'm sure there's scientific equipment in that day that can multiply the blood.
actually, that's true. They take his blood at the beginning of the Scorch trials. They take everyone's blood.
Yeah.
So, like, why wouldn't they be like, oh, he's the cure?
I don't know. Maybe they're idiots.
Plot hole.
They built entire mazes just to do this. Like, considering that, there's loads of different maze teams because they all meet them in the Scorch Trials.
Yeah.
So,
Where
are
are
they-
the other
Yeah.
mazes?
Who has money to build these mazes?
Or is it like multiple layers of
The
maze?
I don't
capitalism.
know.
And that's why that's why the lift's so long, because he's not sure which one he's going to come out of.
Maybe no, because there's the sky. I can see the sky. These
On
aren't-
that one, that's the top level.
What a waste of money.
I don't think Thomas needs to die in this. I just think he needs to realise a way that he's a cure.
It's how you do that early. Also, when he gets to the control room, that's when all the Jansen's men run in and take you on helicopters and take you to the Scorch Trials.
Yeah. So
you have to try and either avoid that or go with it. Like, you're trying to get the cure earlier to people. You are.
Yeah.
Much earlier than Ben tries to. Because Ben's trying to come out on top.
But then Thomas isn't the only cure, though. He's the most effective one, but all the other ones are effective, but Thomas is the most effective.
Do you know, maybe this film is one of the examples where you can't improve things.
Yeah,
And you can't really come out on top either.
That's true.
damn it.
I've just got to save a few people in the first film.
What you
But you haven't.
I have!
No, he's secure. He's somewhat achieved getting more people out of the maze and into the Scorch Trials. You have achieved that.
But then so what?
You've saved Chuck. You saved Newt. You've saved Gally. You've managed to convince him to
You
leave.
didn't do nothing to Ben, you let him die.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just let people
I don't
die.
care about him.
Well, you're playing the evil
There
part, so you
can
don't
only
have
be
to.
one Ben.
There can be one Ben. So yeah, maybe it's just knowing the future in this sense, knowing how it all plays out, doesn't help you really save anyone. Scott's managed to succeed by saving quite a few
How
people.
essential is Gally to this? Because
Well, it doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve to die, does he?
It's true.
He was sent. He had his memories erased, and he was sent into a maze.
No, but
to
I'm
have
talking about the.
It's not like it's not
child.
it's not the crystal maze. It's not like this isn't fun. They're not going to have some
Do you want a physical, a mental, or what's the other one? It was a physical, mental.
Psychological.
No,
emotional.
no.
What?
The
Spiritual.
no, the crystal, crystal maze games. Physical, mental.
Let's not talk about the crystal maze.
I want to talk about the crystal maze.
Too bad it's not that episode.
Dun,
Like
dun,
and
dun, dun,
subscribe
dun.
if you want the crystal mazes. I have no idea what the crystal maze
You don't know? Oh, yeah. Of course,
Oh.
you guys are too young.
I know the
I'm
crystal
surprised
maze.
you know of it.
Of course, we watched it all the time as a kid. Reruns
Oh, okay.
on Gold and Dave and stuff. Other TV channels are available. Suck it.
Okay. Should we just conclude that this is a you can't really make because of the way the sequence of events works. You either have to stab Thomas with a syringe and go, "Look, this is the cure for the virus. Take it and cure everyone," or that's it, really.
Yeah.
The way the universe plays out, because it's not a very efficient system of actually figuring out a cure for anything.
No.
And like to have British support. Should we move on?
Yeah, well, we
What
have to
waste of an episode.
We have, yeah, it was a waste. It was fun though to get
It
to this
was.
point where it's a waste.
Yeah.
But we get to
It's not a waste though. Keep watching.
because what we figured out is that, as you know, at the end of this, we always do this. What is the central what if question of the Maze Runner? And I think you guys would agree. What if a bunch of kids
We
were
try to
trapped?
do this every episode if we have time.
Yes.
We often overrun.
What in this case though? What if a bunch of kids were trapped inside the middle of a maze? Now, that's the central question I think the author and perhaps the film producers asked themselves, and then they built a story
I
around
don't think
it.
the producers ask
No.
anything other than what can make money.
Exactly. It's the director may have asked that question. So, this is in a way, this is like the Hunger Games. Like in
Yes.
the Hunger Games, what if a bunch of children were had to do death games in a dystopian sort of world? And then Divergent is also the same. What if a bunch of kids had to choose a faction that they stay with inside this city and try and try and make Divergent people and they're the good guy or something like I don't really care. I don't care about that film series at all. It's the worst one. The books are fine. Go read the books. But the film series is awful. But my point is this: it's always what if some teenagers are in this really terrible situation put there by adults and so on and so forth. So our thinking, we talked about this beforehand, was that we reverse it. So now we do a trilogy sort of film where teenagers have put adults in some sort of difficult, dangerous situation for some reason. Like they're in a maze, they're in a what's it called, a dome, or a Hunger Games scenario, or the adults have been trapped in a city going through some sort of psychological motions, something like that. And I did think of a reason why the teenagers would do this. It's kind of like what it is. It's kind of like do you know how like climate change, recessions, social unrest, stuff like that? It's all caused by the older generations, and we're not. And right now, the older generations are not exactly leaving a great world for you guys, the younger ones. In this, I mean,
Thanks, old people.
I've basically helped destroy the world for you guys. I hope
You
you enjoy
scum.
it.
I think I'm going to enjoy it. Yes.
But imagine in our scenario, it's got to the point where the dystopian things has happened. But rather than the adults putting teenagers in a situation to sort of deal with it in some way, the teenagers or the younger people just snap and put all we're going to punish all the adults for making this world that we had no choice of living in. And I think we do. And someone should write that story or make that film and then give us money for coming up with the idea for it. What do we call it?
Okay, boomers.
Okay, boomers. Boomer's gonna die.
It'd be a TV series going, okay, boomers, this is what we're going to do.
Yes, and it's every episode is putting a bunch of teenagers laughing while they put like politicians and incredibly rich people who ruin the world with climate change or didn't fix democracy and stuff like that, and it's just teenagers watching them go through horror instead of the adults watching the teenagers go through horror.
Yeah. And the teenagers can have alcoholic boozy parties when the lockdown's happening.
Thanks to the lockdowns, yeah, it's just like the whole world is a mess because of climate change and all that kind of things, and the teenagers are taking their revenge.
How inefficient did the lockdowns have to be in America and the entire world during this film for that to have spread so much?
Yeah, that's a good point. It didn't really contain the virus beforehand.
In none of these films.
But they couldn't contain the virus, and then they had more than enough money to build several domes and mazes.
And a massive barrier between one city.
Yeah. So anyway, back to our story.
What was our story?
The story that
yes.
In some ways, I think it actually speaks to the now. If someone made this film, because, in a sense, I think there's going to be a whole generation of humans who are going to be, what did you do to the world? And what did you leave us with? And the only sort of understandable reaction is to sort of take it out on the previous generation, which is my generation. I think I'm a millennial.
You suck.
Yeah. I haven't helped. I haven't helped that much.
Not
I
with
tried
your
to.
car.
I tried to, but it's not great. But
Basil's petrol's down. Gulp, gulp, gulp.
so I think the next teen sort of dystopian movie is not about teens trapped in a situation being punished put there by adults.
It's about teens trapping
Adults.
and punishing.
Yes, that's what I think it should be. And millennial revenge or something, or Gen X versus Boomer, whatever. Think of it like the Boomer games. I don't know.
The Boomer games, that's good.
The Boomer runners.
Boomer, no. They'd all fall down and break their hips.
But that's how it works.
Interesting.
You ruined the world for us. Run away from this beast that we've set. We put you in a maze under a dome in a battle royale
Hit with their
all at
walking
once.
sticks. Go away, you!
Or we will only let one Boomer out.
Yeah.
If they win. And I would actually enjoy that. Because of the idea of putting all the people who are ruining the world now in that, like, the cast inside this maze or dome or Hunger Games scenario will all be like the politicians who have failed. You'd have all the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies who just helped,
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, the Steve Jobs characters, Tim Cooks, the Elon
Jeff
Musks,
Bezos.
the Bezoses, the Gates, the Zuckerbergs, they'd be in it. And then you'd have...
privacy.
Your Trumps, your
Yeah,
Johnsons,
exactly.
your Mays.
and imagine that,
Keep it
where
politically correct.
every so often you cut to the teenagers who are drinking the remains of society, and what remains of society, watching all these obvious parallels to the people who are actually ruining our world right now, and it's kind of like, watch out. This is like this. What are we leaving for the future generations, and how would that? And surely that would manifest itself in something like this. Why do the adults have to put the children in terrible circumstances? Why can't the children do it to them, or a young generation, I suppose?
Yeah.
Good question.
If you are watching, in the comments of the YouTube video,
If you got this far.
think of a name for this: a Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, etc., etc. I can't
We'll
think of
pick the
any.
best one.
Yes, we'll pick the best one, and someone should make this film because it really speaks to the moment.
We'll give it to you for strong commission.
Stop making films in apart from Stolen Futures, if you ever get around to making that film. But stop making films about teenagers in terrible situations put there by adults.
Unless it's a Gone series, in which case I really want to see that.
Yes. Oh, the Gone. There you go. Gone's another one where someone's put a bunch of teenagers in a difficult
Probably
situation.
look at the second book, so not spoil it for me.
I won't. But Gone's a good series. They should make. I think they are. They're making a TV series.
Is it?
Yeah. Be on the lookout for that because I do praise the Gone
totally
series, the
watching
books,
that.
and a future film. But yeah, stop putting children in situations like this. Let the children put adults in this situation.
Yeah.
That's the next trilogy.
Yeah, it's like that. Matilda.
Excellent.
I hate Matilda.
And on that note, we will end, and we'll build upon that when we do Matilda film. Ben, you got anything to plug?
My YouTube channel, Upstairs Studios. Go subscribe. That is it.
That is it. What
And
more would
that's
you
all,
say?
folks.
And Scott,
Nope.
you got nothing to plug.
Nope.
Apart from the 8th part, maybe.
If they're watching it, they already know it's about.
That's pretty true.
Remember history.
That's my thing.
That's your job.
If you're
I don't
okay,
get paid enough to do your stuff.
You don't get
for
paid
my
at all.
plugs, obviously all my
So you
books
think-
appearing on the screen now. Also, go
Paid?
check out Remember History. It's a TikTok and YouTube channel I run.
It's a TikTok.
Oh,
It's a TikTok series of videos as well.
TikTok makes me sick.
And thank you. But my ones are good, and
Sure, why not?
it teaches you a little bit of history. But what it's primarily trying to do is to give you a mnemonic device to remember a historical date, so you can keep them in your mind a bit easier.
Like our histories and the kings and queens.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I don't do that. I have done King Henry VIII and Elizabeth and William of Orange, but it's things like that. Mansu Mansa
Henry, Stephen, Henry,
and
Richard, John. Oi.
the beginning of the Incan Empire, stuff like that. Yes, and I've almost finished a World War II series with some of the most important dates of World War II. So yeah, check out Remember History too. Well, there you go, guys. Well done. You've run through the maze and you come out successfully, and you've crossed the desert and you got cured of a disease.
Well, allegedly we have. I'm not sure Ben can still take a griever.
I think Ben. Sorry, I had to say this, Ben. You kind of failed to come out on top, like as the bad guy.
But
we did say that it's a hard one to come out on top without breaking our rules.
I'm sure you could have sold Thomas to somebody.
Scott probably did save some lives, but it's more than likely that Jansen would have killed them all anyway. And this is what's true. I really don't think that Chuck would have made his way through the Scorch.
No, not a chance.
He'd
got tired. Where's my snack?
He'd fall over and then roll down the sand dunes.
But then he has to climb up the next sand dune.
Yeah.
Galley probably wouldn't have made it either. I imagine they would have killed him in the desert at some point. It's very hard to get...
Stop following the rules!
We're going back to that, but no, Galley, we're not. It was clearly bad. You saw all the people strung up. But they had food.
But cake. They had cake.
They had weird alcoholic drinks.
They did. Wicked. We are not sponsored by WKD. Is that it?
I've already said that.
Oh.
WCKD.
WCKD. But if they're listening and they do want to sponsor this episode, please get in touch. We could use the money.
We could indeed.
Inflation is through the roof right now. Anyway, thanks guys. Great job.
Thank you.
You did well. Well, you actually didn't, because this was a failure of an episode.
This might be our worst episode yet.
And I couldn't think of anything, so this is our worst episode so
What
far.
a waste.
But
apologies for this hour and 5 minutes you've just listened to.
Oh yeah, it's an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, we cut it short. Excellent. Did you enjoy it? Hope so. Like and subscribe and put any comments. Did you enjoy this episode? Is this our best episode? Who knows?
That's just kicking me for no reason.
I'm not.
He does that.
He has no proof.
That this is our worst episode.
No. That I'm kicking him.
Other worst episodes are available. I don't know what you're trying to say to me, Ben.
Other worst episodes are available. That's your worst joke ever.
No, that's wrong. There are no other worst episodes on this podcast YouTube channel. They're all good except this one.
Go watch our more enjoyable ones.
Go watch our more enjoyable ones. Go watch the Star Wars one. That was my favourite.
Batman one's our most popular one. That's my favourite one.
What was your favourite one, Ben?
I would probably say Batman as well.
This is probably our last one before our summer break.
We're having a summer break?
Sure,
we're having a summer break.
Well, yeah, we're going away for 2 weeks. I mean, we could do the Monday.
2 weeks? It's 10 days.
11 space 2 weeks.
Why aren't they just 10? And okay, we got tangent control.
Tangent control.
Anyway, we'll come back when we can. And
eventually. There is another one in the works which hasn't come out.
It's taken a while for me to get to it. I apologize. Why am I saying this on this video? By now, I've released that one before this one. Why am I saying in this... You guys, why am I talking about a previous episode that's definitely been released by the time you were listening to this?
Hopefully.
This is... I hate this.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Thank you.
And there was another one before that, which we will only release on our Patreon when we hit 100,000.
We don't have a Patreon.
For Pete's sake, just end the episode.
Oh, sorry. Have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.